Shri Sai Satcharita, Chapter 10, Part 2, Baba's Mission and Advice. Saint Ramadas 1608 to 1681 flourished in the 17th century and fulfilled to a great extent his mission of protecting cows and Brahmins against the Yavanas, Mohammedans. But within 2 centuries after him, the split between the two communities, Hindus and Mohammedans, widened up, and Sai Baba came to bridge that gulf. His constant advice to all was to this effect: Ram, the god of the Hindus, and Rahim, the god of the Mohammedans, were one and the same. There was not the slightest difference between them then. Why should their devotees fall out and quarrel among themselves? You ignorant folk, join hands and bring both the communities together. Act sanely, and thus you will gain your object of national unity. It is not good to dispute and argue, so don't argue. Don't emulate others. Always consider your interest and welfare. The Lord will protect you. Yoga, sacrifice, penance, and knowledge are the means to attain God. If you do not succeed in this by any means, in vain is your birth. If anyone does any evil unto you, do not retaliate. If you can do anything, do some good unto others. This is short was Sai Baba's advice to all, and this will stand us in good stead both in material and spiritual matters. Sai Baba as Sadguru. There are many so called gurus who go about from house to house with cymbals and veena in their hands and make a show of their spirituality. They blow mantras into the ears of their disciples and extract money from them. They profess to teach pity and religion to their disciples, but are themselves impure and irreligious. Sai Baba never thought of making the least show of his worth, pity. He had no body consciousness, but he had great love for his disciples. There are two kinds of gurus. First, Niyat, appointed or fixed, and second, Anyat, unappointed or general. They, the latter, by their advice, develop the good qualities in us, purify our hearts, and set us on the path of salvation. But contact with the former dispels our sense of dualities, sense of difference, and establishes us in unity by making us realize, thou art that. There are various gurus imparting to us various kinds of worldly knowledge, but he who fixes us in our nature self and carries us beyond the ocean of worldly existence is the Sadguru. Sai Baba was such a Sadguru. His greatness is indescribable. If anybody went to take his darshan, he, without being asked, would give every detail of his past, present, and future. He saw divinity in all beings. Friends and foes were alike to him. Disinterested and balanced, he obliged the evil doers as well as the pures. He was the same in prosperity and adversity. No doubt ever touched him, though he acted through the body he was, not in the least attached to his body or house. Though he looked embodied, he was really embodied, that is, free from gross existence. Blessed are the people of Shirdi who worship Sai as their god, while eating, drinking, working in their backyards and fields, and doing various household jobs. They always remembered Sai and sang his glory. They knew no other god except Sai. What to speak of the sweetness of the love of the women of Shirdi? They were quite ignorant, but their pure love inspired them to compose poems or songs in their simple rustic language. Letters of learning they had none. Still, one can discern real poetry in their simple songs. It is not intelligence but love that inspires real poetry. As such, real poetry is the manifestation of true love, and this can be seen and appreciated by intelligent listeners. Collection of these folk songs is desirable, and by Baba's wish, some fortunate devotee may undertake the task of compiling and publishing these songs either in the Sai Leela magazine or separately in a book. Baba's humility. Lord or Bhagwan is said to have six qualities, viz. First, fame; second, wealth; third, non-attachment; fourth, knowledge; fifth, grandeur; and sixth, liberality. Baba had all these in him. He incarnated in flesh for the sake of bhaktas. Wonderful was his grace and kindness, for he drew the devotees to him, or how else could one have known him? For the sake of his bhaktas, Baba spoke such words as the goddess of speech could not utter. Here is a specimen. Baba spoke very humbly as follows: Slave of slaves, I am your debtor. I am satisfied at your darshan. It is a great favor that I saw your feet. I am an insect in your excreta. I consider myself blessed thereby.